Today I am going to teach you about veins. In last lecture we have seen regarding general introduction of cardiovascular system as well as characteristic of arteries, its supplies. Okay. Uh, Today we will learn regarding veins, its characteristics as well as supply, and regarding anastomosis, what is anastomosis and what is capillary. Okay, its dimension, size, supply, etc. Okay, so first we will start with characteristics of the veins. Okay, veins are thin walled, being thinner than the arteries. Their lumen is larger than that of the accompanying arteries. Veins have valves which maintain the unidirectional flow of blood even against gravity. Okay, in short, anti-gravity. In this diagram, you can see structure of artery as well as vein. In vein, there is valve. In artery, there is no valve. A valve helps in unidirectional flow against gravity. In short, when we are standing, etc. Okay, from foot it reaches to the heart by the help of valve. Okay. Since the venous pressure is low, 7 mm Hg, this is unit, the valves are utmost value in the venous return. However, the valves are absent in the veins of less than 2 mm diameter, in the vena cava, in the hepatic, renal, uterine, ovarian, not testicular. Okay, because both are male and female reproductive organ. Cerebral, spinal, pulmonary, and pulmonary veins and umbilical veins. Okay, in short, in the hepatic, renal, uterine, ovarian, cerebral, spinal, pulmonary, and umbilical vein, there will be absence of the valve. Okay. The muscular and elastic tissue content of venous valve is much less than that of the arteries. This is directly related to low venous pressure. Large veins have dead space around them for the dilation during increased venous return. Okay. Importance during increased venous return. The dead space commonly contains regional lymph node. Okay. In this diagram, you can see anatomical dead space for increased venous pressure as well as it contains regional lymph nodes. Now we will see regarding structure of the veins. Veins are made of usual three cords which are found in the arteries. Okay, that we have seen: tunica externa, media, and intima. Okay, tunica externa also called as tunica adventitia. But the cords are ill defined and the muscle and elastic tissue content is poor. Okay, this is in short this sentence is regarding strength. Okay, but the cords are ill defined and muscle and elastic tissue content is poor. Okay, in poorly developed tunica media, the amount of collagen fiber is more than the elastic and muscle fibers. The adventitia is thickest and best developed. The smooth muscle is altogether absent. Okay, totally absent. Smooth muscle is totally absent in veins. In the veins of maternal part of the placenta, in the cranial venous sinuses and pial veins. Pial veins means which are tortuous. In the retinal veins, in the veins of cancellous bone, in the venous spaces of the corpora cavernosa and corpus spongiosum. Now we will see regarding comparison of the artery and vein. Okay, differences. Artery and veins. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart except pulmonary artery. Veins carry deoxygenated blood towards the heart except pulmonary veins. Okay, these are mostly deeply situated in the body. These are veins. Veins are superficial and deep in location. These are thick wall, highly muscular, except arteries of the cranium and vertebral column that we have seen in the arteries. These are thin wall. Simple logic: artery, thick wall, highly muscular. Okay, so its lumen will be smaller. So and this thing thin veins wall is thinner, as well as less smooth muscle is absent, so its lumen will be wider. Artery possesses narrow lumen, okay, that we have discussed why it is wide possesses narrow lumen, and veins possesses wide lumen. Valves are absent in artery. Valves are present which provide unidirectional flow of blood. Arteries are reddish in color, veins bluish in color. Arteries show spurty movement of blood giving pulse. This shows sluggish movement of blood. Blood in arteries moves with the pressure. Blood in vein moves under the very low pressure. Arteries empty up at the time of death. Veins get filled up at the time of death. Okay. If arterial wall is injured, the blood comes out like fountain, okay, in a large area all around the artery. If venous wall is injured, blood comes out, collects a pool in a small area around the vein. Okay, you can see here description regarding artery. Arteries empty up at the time of death. Okay, as well as its lumen or artery will be patent at the time of death. So at that in embalming process we use generally artery, okay, and veins generally collapse after the death. Okay, blood and nerve supply of veins. The larger veins like the arteries are supplied with the nutrients vessels called vasa vasorum. Okay, the larger veins like the arteries are supplied with the nutrients vessels called vasa vasorum, but in the veins the vessels may penetrate up to the intima, probably because of the low venous pressure and the low oxygen tension. Nerve also are distributed to the veins in the same manner as the artery, but are fewer in number. Factors helping in venous return: overflow from the capillaries pushed from the behind the arteries. Okay, factors which are helpful in the venous return: overflow from the capillaries pushed from behind by the arteries. Negative intrathoracic pressure: suck blood into the heart from all over the body. Gravity helps venous return in the upper part of the body. Arterial pulsation press on the venae commitants intermittently and drive the venous blood towards the heart. Vena commitants we have seen in anatomical terminology. What is vena commitant? Two vein accompany with artery. Okay, venous valves prevent any regurgitation. Okay, that is backflow of the luminal blood. Okay, in this diagram you can see valve, venous valves and muscle pump in the lower limb. Okay, valves helpful in unidirectional flow of blood against gravity. Okay, by this way from the foot blood can reach up to the heart with the help of valve system in the vein. Okay, also the soleus is also termed as second heart of the body. Okay, due to its pumping and functioning. Okay, muscular contraction press on the veins, and from very effective mechanism of the venous return, this becomes still more effective within the tight sleeve of the deep fascia as seen in the lower limbs. Okay, that we have discussed. Lower limbs, calf muscle. The calf muscles for this reason are known as peripheral heart. Okay, soleus. Okay, soleus also termed as peripheral heart. Thus the muscle pumps are important factors in the venous return. Capillaries. Now we will discuss regarding capillaries. Capillus is equal to hair are network of microscopic endothelial tubes interpose. Interpose means insert something between one and another. Okay, capillus resemblance like hair. Okay, microscopic are networks of microscopic endothelial tubes interpose between the meta-arterioles and venules. The true capillaries without any smooth muscle cell begin after the transition zone of 50 to 100 micron beyond the precapillary sphincters. The capillaries are replaced by cavernous spaces in the sex organs, splenic pulp, and placenta. Okay, the capillaries are replaced by the cavernous spaces. Okay, in the sex organ, splenic pulp, and in the placenta. Okay, this is the diagram showing blood flow as well as arterioles, veins, venules, precapillary. Okay, artery, venous shunt. Okay, capillary. Now size of capillary. The average diameter of capillary is about 6 to 8 micron, just sufficient to permit the red blood cells to pass through the single file, but the size varies from organ to organ. It is smallest in the brain and intestine, and largest 20 micron in the skin and bone marrow. Okay, capillaries size varies from organ to organ. Brain and intestine, it is smallest in size, where skin and bone, it is up to 20 micron size. Okay, now types and structure of the capillaries. The capillaries are classified as the continuous and fenestrated. Fenestrated means perforated. Okay, according to the type of the junction between the endothelial cells. Continuous capillaries are found in the skin, connective tissue, skeletal and smooth muscle, lung and brain. These allow passage across the walls of small molecules up to 10 micron size. Okay, once again I am repeating. Continuous capillaries are found in the skin, connective tissue, skeletal and smooth muscle, lung and brain. These allow passage across their walls of small molecules up to 10 micron size. In our Ayurvedic, there is one Abhyang procedure which is considered under the Panchkarma. So during the Abhyang, this logic is important while correlating. Okay, how it be useful. Second, continuous and fenestrated. Second, fenestrated capillaries are found in the renal glomeruli, intestinal mucosa, endocrine glands and pancreas. These allow passage across their walls of larger molecules up to 20 to 100 micron size. The capillary bed and postcapillary venules form an enormous area of the exchange of the nutrients, gases, metabolism and water between the blood and intestinal fluid. Capillaries also migration of the leukocytes out of the vessels. Now, what is sinusoids? Sinusoid replace capillaries in certain organs like liver, spleen, bone marrow, suprarenal gland, parathyroid gland, carotid body, etc. Okay, its characteristics. Okay, sinusoids are large irregular vascular spaces are closely surrounded by parenchyma of the organ. These differ from the capillaries in the following respect. Their lumen is wider up to 30 micron and irregular. Their walls are thinner and may be incomplete. They are lined by endothelium in which the phagocytic cells are often distributed. The adventitial support is absent. This may connect arteriole with the venule or venule with venule. Okay, arteriole with venule connection seen in spleen, bone marrow, venule with venule seen in liver. Okay. What is anastomosis? A precapillary or postcapillary communication between the neighboring vessel is called anastomosis. Circulation through the anastomosis is called collateral circulation. All this we have discussed in anatomical terminology. Types. Arterial anastomosis is the communication between the arteries or branches of the arteries. It may be actual or potential. In the actual arterial anastomosis, the artery meet end to end. For example, palmar arches, plantar arch, circle of Willis, intestinal arcades, labial branches of facial arteries. Okay. Example of the actual arteries anastomosis forming the palmar arch. In foot, plantar arch. Okay, we can see. There is communication between radial artery, ulnar artery, deep palmar. Okay, and by this way, there will be collateral circulation can be done. Now, potential arterial anastomosis between the coronary arteries. Okay, in this diagram you can see right coronary artery, coronary anastomosis. Okay, left coronary artery, circumflex branch, anterior interventricular branch. Okay, posterior interventricular branch, marginal branch. Okay. However, when the organ is at the rest, blood bypasses the capillary bed and is shunted back through the arteriovenous anastomosis. However, when the organ is at the rest, the blood bypasses the capillary bed and the shunted back through the arteriovenous anastomosis. Okay. At the time of rest of the organ, in this diagram you can see meta-arteriole, arteriovenous shunt. They push up, in short, the blood. Okay. The shunt vessels may be straight or coiled. Okay. In this diagram you can see straight or coiled or covered with muscular cord, thick muscular cord, and is under the influence of sympathetic system. Now, shunt of simple structure are found in the skin, nose, lips, and external ear, the mucous membrane of nose and alimentary canal, coccygeal body, the tactile tissue of sex organs, the tongue, thyroid gland, and sympathetic ganglia. Specialized arteriovenous anastomosis are found in the skin of digital pads and nail pads. They form number of small units called glomera. Okay. A preferential through fair channels which connect venule to precapillary to venule are also kind of shunt. Okay. They course through the capillary network. Many true capillary arise as their side branches. One through fair channel with its associated capillary form microcirculatory unit. The size of unit is variable from 1 to 2, 20 to 30 true capillaries. The number of active units varies from time to time. Now we will see end artery. Definition: arteries which do not anastomosis with their neighbor are called end artery. In short, there will be no further any branch. Okay. Example: central artery of retina, labyrinthine artery of internal ear are the best example of an absolute end artery. Central branches of the cerebral artery and vasa recta of mesenteric arteries, arteries of spleen, kidney, lungs, metaphyses of long bones. Now, what is the importance of end artery? Occlusion of an end artery causes serious nutritional disturbance, causes death of tissue supplied by it. For example, occlusion of central artery of the retina results in blindness. Okay. In first diagram, there is done ligature. Okay. So there will be no further supply. Okay. By this way, in the second diagram, there ligature done on the upper side, but there will be supply from the bypass system or artery or vein. Okay, so that area will not necrose. Okay. In third diagram, central artery of retina, if it get injured, causes blindness. Branches of cerebral arteries in brain, if it injures, causes infarction or stroke. Arteries in kidney and liver, if they are injured due to accidental or whatever, causes infarction. Okay, these are the importance of the end artery. Thank you everyone.